Let's do the top five. Are they Christmas movies or not? Like, yeah, I like because you just named a bunch of good ones. And
Yeah,
are there any, so we got
Edward
Gremlins.
Scissorhands is supposed to be a Christmas movie. You know, I don't know, but yeah, Gremlins is definitely a Christmas movie. I mean, he buys the gizmo for a Christmas present, and this happens all at Christmas. Like, so it technically is a Christmas movie, even though we know it's not.
That,
Um,
yeah, that's true because he did buy him.
mhm.
So Gizmo was bought by his dad, right? In like Little
Yeah,
China, something like that, like
yeah.
in Chinatown. And
Mhm.
then he gets Gizmo, brings him home, and he had those three. Do you remember what the three things were? Like, don't feed him after midnight.
Don't feed him after midnight. Don't get water on him. Don't get him wet. And I forgot what the third one is. I'm probably gonna have gremlins now.
I just remember those two. And there's definitely a third one.
Yeah.
Don't feed him after midnight. Don't get him wet because he
Light,
multiply.
the
Oh
light,
yes, yeah.
bright light.
Bright
Can't
light,
have
bright
bright
light.
light.
Yeah,
Hmm.
very. That's how they ended up getting him at the end.
Now, Gremlins 2 is not a Christmas movie. It's not supposed to be a movie. It's supposed to be taken from our existence, like how we can never find Short Circuit
Right, right.
or Soul Man.
So man,
No
so
more black faces in movies.
Go get my heroin and my hypodermic needle, bitch. Give me some more watermelon while you're at it.
Yes, dear.
White fat ass slut.
Ah. So all right. So Gremlins, we got on the list. We'll put them in number five as the this
Okay.
is the alternative Christmas movies that are great classics, but you didn't know they were Christmas movies, but they
Mhm.
are, right? So then we'll go with the second one that you already mentioned that I think is worthy
What?
is
Lethal Weapon?
Edward
Oh, it was
Scissorhands.
Scissorhands, yeah. Which
Yeah.
I just watched for the first time like a year or two ago.
Oh,
Because
really?
people told me it was a Christmas movie, and I was like, how? Like, how is this a Christmas movie? He cuts trees and stuff. Like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't understand. So I was like, I have to watch this movie because I didn't I thought it was weird when it came out. I wasn't a Tim Burton person. I mean, Tim Burton had only made a couple movies, and two of them I liked. But once he started doing Edward Scissorhands and all this other stuff, I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, you got like gothic, like this kind of weird, like
But
emo.
he was always gothic.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you look at Beetlejuice, look at
Yeah.
Batman, and you look at even Pee Wee Herman to an extent, like all the stuff he's done is gothic, but Edward Scissorhands is freaking weird.
It
Like
is.
I didn't understand.
I'm trying to see how it was Christmas.
It just at the end of the movie, I think he was doing ice sculptures. Like he went from cutting trees and stuff to doing ice sculptures. And I didn't understand how people were saying it was a Christmas movie because it's not. It's not a Christmas movie. But that's why I wanted to know what is a Christmas movie. It does it take place at Christmas? Is Christmas a character? You know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna check it out again, and if I find any Christmas scenes from there, I'm gonna play them right now.
Edward?
Are you okay?
Yes, are you okay?
But we're still so all right. So we got Edward Scissorhands is on the list. We'll see if it makes it. Then we got
All right.
um
Lethal
another
Weapon.
one, Lethal Weapon. So Lethal Weapon was definitely to me Christmassy because it all took place on Christmas Day, right?
Right. Hmm.
And he's in the airport and there's Christmas trees everywhere and
No,
it's
I,
snowy
I
vibes.
I think we're
Was
talking Die Hard. We're talking
Oh
Die Hard or we're
yeah,
talking
yeah. I was thinking okay, so yes, Lethal
you
Weapon
think of
because Lethal Weapon I'm gonna write Die Hard on here too. We'll get to Die Hard in a second. But yeah, Lethal Weapon. That's right, because he was in the Christmas tree place, and
hmm.
that's when he went more Larry Curly thing. Woo, 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 and he started beating
Yeah,
the guy up and all that stuff. So
exactly. Yeah.
it was definitely around Christmas time. What scenes stand out for you that tell you that this is a Christmas movie?
Well, there was Christmas stuff happening when the girl committed suicide. She jumped out the window. There was a tree and like she was naked, and then all of a sudden, Merry Christmas. Psst. Um, but yeah, that's probably and the fact that like everything in Lethal Weapon surrounding it is takes place at Christmas time. So you have the whole family dynamic of Murtaugh's family who has like all the Christmas trees hanging up and presents, and then all of a sudden a car busts through the window.
Right.
I thought that's what Christmas was like in LA. Like, you don't get no snow, but you get a lot of cars through your window. Um, yeah,
And
that people are saying that is a Christmas movie. I
oh,
don't know. I don't know if I believe it or not, but hey,
well, we're going to break this all down and see. So now, okay, so with Lethal Weapon, and now also side note, they're coming out with another Lethal Weapon. I heard they're getting the whole band back together
I
again.
hope not. Did you listen, I followed the whole Lethal Weapon train all the way up to 4 with Chris Rock, and it was so bad. Like
That
I
one was
remember
bad.
watching it. Yeah, I remember watching them like this is not good. Like Joe Pesci and Chris Rock going back and forth. And I'm just like, ugh. It was just like a whole bunch of and I'm like, I can't
That's
do
one of
this.
those that on paper, like when they were pitching that, it sounded
Mm.
awesome. Chris Rock and Joe Pesci, and then we got the, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. This is gonna be awesome, man.
It
Eh,
was the worst. Look, first of all, Joe Pesci's not a comedian. Like
Right.
I want to see Joe Pesci as, hey, you want a fresh one? Like you want like I want to see him in
Right.
Goodfellas. I
Right.
don't want to see him as a man that he's like whatever you want, Leo gets. Okay, okay, okay. Like I don't want to see that. Like I want to
Right,
see
right, right.
something different. Yeah, it's so like, and he did it for 3 Lethal Weapons. It was so annoying.
And they're saying he
But
would be in this one. They already, if what I'm reading is correct, they already have Pesci locked in. So it's going to be the three of them. They didn't say anything
how
about Chris
old is
Rock.
Joe Pesci now? Like
Ooh.
175? Like,
Dude, he is old and looking old. Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah. So I don't know what the heck, how they're going to pull that
all of
one
them
off.
are Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. Like, I listen, I don't want like why are they still on the force?
Exactly. In the real world, they would all
Like
be
why? Like
retired long
it's
ago.
the same thing. It's the same thing with Beverly Hills Cop, with Taggart still being on the force. And like,
Yeah.
why? Like, listen, that was the 80s. Like, it's 30, 40 years now. Like, come on, stop.
Yeah. He would have
I
been retired
You
for
would have
sure.
been
All of them.
retired.
Judge Reinhold would have been retired too.
Because Reinhold couldn't keep his face together in Beverly Hills Cop 4. Like, it was just bad. It was all bad.
So that will lead us into Die Hard, which was the first of this kind of ilk of people calling this like these kind of alternative Christmas movies. Like, oh
Right.
no, Die Hard was the one that everybody always would quiz you. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not? And then they would say that it is or that it isn't.
He
Um,
says ho 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 in the thing. I don't understand.
to me, it's definitely in for this, it's definitely Christmas. It takes place in Christmas time. It's Christmas
Mm.
Day. The whole thing happens. Like you said, he says ho ho ho.
Yeah.
It's snowing out. There's all kinds of
You got
Chris
Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow is there, and he's talking him down off the ledge, and
Mm.
helping him out, and yeah, um, and I think Die Hard 2 took uh took place in Christmas also, didn't it?
I believe so, but we only saw the airport.
Right,
I
right,
think I think they were trying to capitalize on that. And then 3, they just went totally haywire. And then 4, they went, it was 4th of July.
right, right.
5, I have no clue what holiday it was. At this point, you should just call it Death Wish. Like, I don't understand. Like, Bruce Willis is Charles Bronson.
So Die Hard, and then I have Home Alone. Feel
I
fits.
I really like Home Alone. Like, I guess I was the target audience at the time for Home Alone. But Home Alone is like I watch it every Christmas. I love Home Alone and Home Alone 2. I like Home Alone 2 a little bit better, but as I got older, I appreciate Home Alone 1 more. Only because like you have these movies and nobody's ever called CPS on these kids. Like on the parents. Like the parents have like they're famous for leaving their kids.
Like
The
the worst
cops know
parents.
the cops know that they leave their kids home. How come nobody went to check to see, hey, it's Christmas time? You know, the McAllisters normally leave kids around the house around this time. Let's check the house. Let's check if they have all their kids. Like the cops know.
Yeah. They did it at least twice, and I think there was a third one.
There's about 5 Home Alones now. It's not the same people though, but still, like every one of these Home Alone, these are not movies. They are documentaries on people leaving their kids home alone.
That's hilarious. Yeah, they got arrested. There should be a sequel where the parents get arrested by the police.
I would love that.
That,
I
that
would love that.
dude,
Like
we should
now
make that.
you can't leave kids by themselves. Remember when you used to be able to leave a kid in the car and you know they wouldn't die or nobody would call the cops?
Right, exactly. Or they smash the window in and let the kid out.
Right. It's just yeah. It's now, you know, now it's like people would call the cops. So I don't understand how we went through 2 movies. Now it's 5 movies now, but we went through 2 movies and it's documented and the McAllisters are not in jail.
Dude, we should that should be what we do when you get to town. We film something. We'll film the McAllisters getting arrested for child abandonment and just
Yeah,
being
child endangerment,
endangerment.
abandonment, whatever. Yes, yes, they need to go to jail.
Another one I've seen on this list here is Batman Returns.
Yes, that takes place at Christmas as well. The whole movie,
I don't remember like so I get the only thing I remember about Batman Returns is Catwoman, like
right?
Michelle
Penguin.
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, but Penguin is
Oh,
all
that's
like,
right.
yeah, he was in the ice cube, and like a lot of the set pieces were they were ice skating and doing a whole bunch of stuff. In the second Batman, yeah.
Yeah, so Batman Returns
Hmm.
is a Christmas movie.
Which I like, but it is kind of gory. Like, remember when he bit into the fish and like black blood was coming?
Oh
Like, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's why they couldn't sell any Happy Meals because of that. I don't know. Have you seen like the whole like there's a whole thing about Batman Returns being not as good as Batman, and I'm like, I didn't see anything wrong with it. And there's like videotapes, like there's kids complaining that the movie was too scary for them to watch, that they ran
Really?
out of movie theater. Yeah, it's like it's on Sally Jesse Raphael. Like it's a whole bunch of like interviews, like kids. There's documentaries of Batman Returns, like scarring children's like psyches because that's why Tim Burton didn't do Batman Forever.
Really? So they pulled them off. So
Yeah,
whoever's in
they,
charge of the Batman films, they go, listen, you dropped the ball on Batman Returns. Kids are scared out of their minds.
yeah. McDonald's couldn't sell toys. McDonald's couldn't sell Happy Meals because the movie was too graphic. You had parents getting mad and organizing and saying, "Do not take your kid to see Batman Returns."
Wow, dude, I never even knew that.
I didn't know that either. I was like, I used to watch this movie. It used to come on HBO all the time.
Yeah, and it's a Christmas classic.
It's now it is.
Well, come what may. Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne.
Merry Christmas, Albert. Goodwill toward men.
Another one is Trading Places.
Which is another one. It's a Christmas movie.
It's
Takes
another
place between
Christmas.
Christmas and New Year's.
Yep, and that's got your boy in there, your buddy Eddie Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
your dude,
Who was
legend.
smoking these cools?
It was the Dukes. It was the
What's
Dukes.
the Dukes? Yeah, I like. That is a Christmas movie. It would have to be. It takes place. Plus, you got Dan Aykroyd in a Santa suit. So,
Dan Aykroyd stealing fish in his under his beard in the Santa Claus outfit. Eddie
which I
Murphy.
feel, and this is a hot take. I think this movie is the funniest Dan Aykroyd's ever been.
I would kind of agree with that. I would say that and Ghostbusters might be a close second, but I would definitely say Trading Places is almost a masterpiece of a movie. It's almost perfect to me. It's Eddie Murphy's, I think, second film after 48 Hours. Eddie
Yep.
Murphy comes out. He's classic Eddie Murphy. It's just such a great film. Um, you know, everything about it, even the ending, you know.
Mhm.
He's like, looking good, Reggie, feeling good, it's got
I think in that movie he's the funniest he's ever been. I don't think Doctor Detroit ever like really compared.
Dr. Detroit, not a Christmas movie, but but Dan Aykroyd is a pimp. James Brown was in that. Uh, but yeah, Trading Places is a freaking awesome film, and you could say argue that it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Hey! Have you people ever heard of toasters?
You're a dead man, Valentine!
It was produced.
All right, so we got Gremlins, Edward Scissorhands, Home Alone, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, Batman Returns, Trading Places, and then Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Ooh.
There's
And you know
also
what? That's another one I've never seen.
oh,
And
you
I
do.
have to see.
You should see that, man.
Yeah, everybody tells me I have to see. I've never watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles because
You
I never knew
do.
it was a. I never knew it was a comedy.
It's a comedy. It's a fun movie. It's got two legends, you know, John
right.
Candy.
I love
and-
John Candy. Don't get me wrong. I love John Candy. Uncle Buck. I love Uncle Buck.
Yeah, dude.
But I've never I've seen the picture. I've never thought it was a comedy. It wasn't until people told me it was a comedy. And I was like, oh, okay, I should watch this. And every time I say I'm going to watch it, I never do. I didn't even know what it was about. I didn't know it was a Christmas movie.
I didn't. It's one of those on the cusp type of Christmas movies. Like, is it a Christmas movie or isn't it? So
Mhm.
now let's narrow these down because we have like 8 of them. Let's get the top 5 out of this. So I
Top
would say
5.
I'll go through it one by one again, and we'll just say if they make the top list, and then we'll start
Okay.
breaking it down. So, Gremlins.
Definitely.
So Gremlins, I agree. So Gremlins is definitely going to be on the list. Edward Scissorhands.
No.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm going to put a question mark next to that.
But it was on your list when you looked it up, right? It was on your
Yeah,
list
it was
of-
in. Yeah, it was on the. I was on the
Yeah.
list.
It's not a comedy. It's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, yeah, that one's kind of weird. Home Alone, I'd say
Definitely.
yes,
That's a
definitely
staple.
belongs on there.
I was the biggest Macaulay. Did I tell you the time I met Macaulay Culkin?
Dude, you met Macaulay Culkin? How'd that go? Were you guys on set together or something?
No. I was coming out of Eastville Comedy Club. This is when I was on second and fourth. And I'm walking out and I say, oh my God, and he goes,
Oh
and
shit,
then
he
walks
did it.
off.
What,
And walks off.
dude? That's
He just walks off.
dude. That's insane. He did his signature thing for you, man.
Yeah. He just and walks off. I
You
was like,
must-
I was on my way to the bar, and I'm like, what's this guy doing?
Like, did this just really happen?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's great. So Home Alone definitely making the cut.
Home Alone, yeah.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I don't think so because you haven't seen it yet, and
I would take your word for it if you want to put it on.
it takes
I gotta watch it.
it takes place. I think he's trying to get home to his family in Christmas. I think it's like Christmas Eve, and he's got the whole premise is they have to get home in time for Christmas. So I
Okay.
think so it's still questionable, but will it make the top 5? I don't know yet. So the top
Right.
right now we have Gremlins and Home Alone. Then we'll say Trading Places. I think definitely has to be on the list.
Definitely on the list.
So now that's 3. So now
3.
Batman Returns, I think is like a number 6. I think.
You have to watch it again because I told you it does take place in Christmas time. It is technically a Christmas movie. That's the one dark horse I always say every year. I'm like, it kind of is.
But we got Lethal Weapon. So is Lethal Weapon more of a Christmas? Would you put Lethal Weapon higher than Batman Returns?
Only because it's an action movie. I've watched Lethal Weapon more. I've watched Lethal Weapon more than I've watched Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Ironically and sad. McAllister.
And then Die Hard has to make the list.
Die Hard definitely makes the list. Die Hard is number 1. Yeah.
So that's our
It goes
list.
over the Santa Claus.
So we have Die Hard at number 1,
Mhm.
Gremlins, Home Alone, Lethal
Mhm.
Weapon,
Trading
and
Places.
Trading Places should be
Yes.
number two. Trading
Okay.
Places number two.
However you want to put it,
Yeah.
those are the top 5 Christmas movies. If you don't like that, screw you.
So
I've
it,
never seen Miracle on 34th Street.